just send it out.
And then I do it, but it's like I try to like hit the treadmill afterwards and watch for mistakes.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be great if you and I could get together and watch at least a few of them, spend a few hours, and just.
I was just gonna say, speaking of mistakes, hopefully this wasn't one of them happening.
We're raising the stakes, bro.
So, yeah, raising the stakes.
Raising
no
the
mistakes.
stakes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just jump into it. Huh?
Welcome, everyone.
All right. So we're here today. We got a special guest in the
Yes,
house
sir.
that's visiting from out of town, originally from here, but we'll get into that.
The OG.
The man that needs no introduction, John Clegg,
But you're gonna introduce
a.k.a. Johnny Cotate.
Johnny Cotate.
Johnny Cotate,
Welcome to
man.
the pod, sir. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we like to start these pods, kind of get people loose and just kind of relax, get to know you a little bit. We're going to ask a few rapid fire either or questions, kind of just, give us the answer that comes to mind and we'll talk about it a little bit and go from there. Sound good?
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'll start off, Code.
Let's do it.
All right, first one. So we know Johnny Cotate lived here for a while and then moved to Texas, which we will get into here, I'm sure. I'm wondering who has better Mexican food. Is it California or is it Texas?
Oh, man. So I've been in Austin, Texas since 2020, Halloween, during pandemic. And I'm still in constant search of finding decent burritos in Texas.
Wow.
Really?
Bomb tacos. Excellent tacos. Tacos are everywhere. But we're in California. We're used to, super burritos.
Yeah.
And it's taken me 5 years. And
How disappointing is that?
I still don't have a go-to.
No, that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, for us, that's
We're
good.
spoiled.
I don't have a go-to burrito
Damn.
in Texas. And I had
Everything's barbecue, huh?
a lot of barbecue, yeah.
Is that why you came back for this visit?
Came back to get a burrito. Yeah, we just ate across the street at Cafe Salsa. Shout out to
Cafe salsa.
Yeah, it used to be Rafa's, our childhood spot. These guys mentioned I live in Austin. I was born and raised in Rohnert Park, California. I was actually born in Petaluma, raised in Rohnert Park. Rohnert Park is very dear to my heart. My whole family's in Sonoma County. My daughter's whole family's from here. I try to come back here as often as possible.
Dope.
So very well connected here and still want to impact the community despite what I'm doing out in Austin. But I feel like I'm here like once every 3 months at least. My mother just moved to Petaluma, so I'm going to be here a lot more. You'll be seeing his face.
Cool.
Thanks for coming back and visiting.
If Petaluma rhymed with Johnny, maybe I'll be Johnny Petaluma. I think I have to
We'll think of something.
stick to Johnny Cotate.
Petaluma.
All right. So I got.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Burritos, California.
I guess I was going to follow it up with when you were here. What was your go-to burrito spot?
Oh man, I can't. It's been so long. I can't even think of it. Maybe actually, I think Texas has better burritos.
Just like that. What a flip flopper, dude.
Moving on. All right. So now that you went from here, you're in Texas. Obviously, there's a clear difference in kind of genre of music, I would say. So are you more of a country fan, especially now that you're immersed in what's going on over there, over in
The
Austin,
culture?
or a rap fan?
Yeah, he is.
Austin is very. There's a lot of fusion. There's so many people from all over the place playing different music, and it's all
Great music scene.
eclectic.
Yeah.
Being in Austin hasn't made me like country more. It's being a father and having a kid has made me realize like these sappy country songs. Before I'm an alternative guy. I got involved in music after watching Oasis for the first time late at night, and my musical taste has been like Fiona Apple, Marilyn Manson, the Beatles, a lot of hip hop. Never that into country, and then I do have to admit that as I'm getting older with the kid, I'm listening to country.
You're getting more
often.
sensitive, huh, with the kid?
Yeah, I think when I
sensitivity.
realized it, there's what's the guy Blake Shelton? Does he have something about a street name? What do you know?
You're
What I'm
talking
talking
the
about?
wrong dude over here.
Something about a street name.
Something about like wanting to.
Like Johnny Cotate street name? Is that what...
I'm sure Blake Shelton has a street named after him. All right, so
pretty
probably
hardcore, yeah.
somewhere.
There's some song about a dog, a wife, and a kid.
Red? Yeah, that's every country.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's all of
there you go. That's the reason why I don't like it that much. It's very formulaic. It's all the same thing. So I kind of like more alternative music.
Dope.
Well, when you think of that song, even if we're talking, just start singing it. Okay, we'll sing along with you.
Yeah. That beautiful voice of yours. We need to hear it.
Yeah.
All right, so to continue on the music idea, right? I've been on this last few days. I've been on this crazy Pearl Jam kick. I've been bumping Pearl Jam. I've just been feeling
I've
it.
heard a lot of Pearl Jam.
Oh
lately.
man, so I never really listened to them growing up that much, but it's been feeding my soul lately. So Pearl Jam or Nirvana?
Both are grunge out of Seattle, huh? Nirvana.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it.
Particular
That's
reason?
it.
No, I love Eddie Vedder. It's funny.
Yeah.
I've listened to him my whole life. Well, since they've been around. But I just started recently hearing him a lot. I'm like, oh man, this guy sounds like shit.
I think he sounds great.
He does sound great, but it's like some like my dad listened to him one time. I was like, oh my god, you're gonna love Eddie Vedder. He didn't know who he was, and he's like, oh my god, he sounds terrible, and he kind of did. Yeah.
To be honest, I like Nirvana a lot. But what is that album with the little kids swimming in the pool?
Yeah.
I forget the name of the album.
Never mind.
That was a great album.
You know that kid sued them when he was like 22?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, he was like, my wiener is all over the world right now.
Yeah. I think Pearl Jam has more. They have a ton of songs. Pearl Jam's great.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Let's.
That's more like surfer or grunge, though.
Yeah, like that's
Nirvana's more like depressed.
Yeah,
grunge.
So that's when I was
speaking to your soul right now.
Hey, growing up, I always thought of Pearl Jam as kind of being that, and as I'm listening to them now, I'm like, no, like their songs are way different than what I was anticipating them being.
It's like even country music or just any lyrics.
Pearl Jam's more like flannel.
But I'm just saying,
and Nirvana's more like flannel with blood all over.
But when you when you actually listen to the lyrics of a song, like you could rap and sing along with these lyrics forever, but one day you'll sing them and you're like, wait, is that really what they're saying? And then it's telling a story, right?
Yeah,
that's the one thing I love. I know we've bonded over music. We'll talk about.
They're asking me so much about music because I have to throw out Salty DeVito, local band.
That's coming. That's coming.
Stay tuned.
It's coming.
All right. Let's move off of music.
Yeah.
Then.
Oh man. All right.
That's saltydevito.com. SALTYDEVITO.
Let's talk a little bit about sports. I know you're a big basketball guy, right? Big basketball guy. So are you more of a LeBron or a Jordan as your GOAT? Or is there a wild card?
I still have what's the figurines? What are the starting lineups? I still have a starting lineup, the Jordan on my dresser at home. And I just came across, my mom just moved to Petaluma, so I was going through old stuff. I have a lot of mint Jordan cards that are like well protected.
Wow.
And I looked them up. Some were like 500, 800
Oh
bucks.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So with that said, I grew up with Jordan, the first iconic sports athlete in my life. So I have to say Jordan.
Yeah.
I do remember being very excited when LeBron, I think I was a senior in high school when he was debuting his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
And that was exciting because it was like, oh my God, somebody.
No, you were already graduated.
I was going to say, because he was
2003.
he was a year older than us.
Yeah, he was
LeBron
2003 when he graduated and went to the NBA.
Yeah.
Maybe he was on the sports. Was he in Sports Illustrated when he was in high school? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay,
you're a little older, man. You were 1999 when you graduated.
Rancho class of 99.
With my sister.
Han School, elementary school. Yeah. No sister well.
Hey. All right, so talking about the schools, right? The schools. There's a lot of controversy in the area whether you're a Creekside kid or a Mountain Shadows kid. Where do you fall on that debate?
Mountain Shadows. And did they change the name, right?
It's Tech Middle. And now it's Lawrence Jones. Is this Creekside?
And Creekside's right here off of Snyder, right?
Correct.
That's crazy. I would not remember that.
Correct. Yep.
You haven't been gone that long.
Oh. Well, I used to skate. I was a skater growing up, and I knew every school in like a 100-mile radius here because we were waxing up the curbs and finding the rails.
When you say skating, you were on rollerblades.
Rollerblades.
You would rollerblade 100 miles, he just said. 100-mile rollerblade. It's an Olympic sport right there.
All right, so I got a couple more questions. So I know that you have a likeness to you. Some people look at you and they'll say, you look like somebody I know.
The Silver Fox.
So do you get Jon Stewart or Gavin Newsom more often?
I've gone both. I was just telling these guys that I had a Japanese couple that was visiting in Austin, interrupted me at dinner and asked me if I was Jon Stewart. I was sitting down. I'm a lot taller than him. So I was a little offended.
Glad to mention that.
But I was eating at a sushi restaurant in Montgomery Village years ago with my mom when I was a little younger and thinner. And another Japanese gentleman interrupted my mom, and I was like, "Excuse me, are you Gavin Newsom?"
So you'd be a huge celebrity.
And I didn't
even to Japan.
Yeah.
We're going on tour.
Gavin Newsom, huh? Wow.
And I didn't even know what he looked like at that point. I had to look it up.
Just look in the mirror.
Well, I had to look it up, and I was like, oh, because I've always had long hair. When I was younger, I would get. I used to live in Long Beach, and I would get Keith Urban, and I didn't know who Keith Urban was.
Oh yeah, I could see that too.
Either, and I had the long hair, and I had actually straightened my hair a couple of times, and it did resemble him a lot. But I had to look him up, and then I had to look up Gavin Newsom. And I used to get there's that British actor Hugh Grant when I was in high school. So it's always been these extremely good looking celebrities. So it's bring it on, give me more. But I still get upset about it. Like, God damn it.
I think you just got to play along with it next time.
Yeah.
Can you just do that for our sake and then share that experience with us, how that goes?
Yes.
Take some photos.
It's funny. So there was a team mom on my daughter's team today, and she was like, I know you from somewhere. Where do I know you from? You look so familiar. And I was like, yeah, you probably see me on WWE. I used to go by The Rock. And she was like, oh, yeah, that's it.
I was going to say Bam Bam Bigelow.
Then my wife was like, you should have said Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm like, that's true. I should have done that.
No, Bam Bam.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
No, it's from the Rohnert Park Community Men's Club.
Yeah, that's it.
Podcast.
The podcast. That's what I was going to say, too. All right, cool. Are you more of a, you like music, you're into the music scene, you like going to festivals or like a concert more? What's your type of vibe?
I loved going to festivals when I was experimenting with
younger age.
Yeah, when you were younger.
No, I love festivals. I love the dynamic and the energy you get when you're with a group of people all enjoying the same music and the vibrations all there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a lot of I always go to ACL, Austin City Limits. That's a annual festival in Austin.
ACL.
Yeah, it's hot. It's very hot.
Like temperature wise, it's hot.
Yeah,
music wise.
Yeah, all the above, man. I mean, it's nice because it is very warm and it means people are wearing less clothing typically, which checks a lot of boxes for music festivals.
People were like, I didn't know John Stewart sweat so much.
Yes.
This guy, dude.
Yeah. My mom's been going with me, and I feel like she's gonna have a stroke every time. So that may have been the last year. Last year might have been the last year.
I hydrated, Mom.
But love festivals. What was the question? What was the question?
Festivals or concerts? What's your preference? You said when you were younger, festivals.
I think I'd rather go.
It's a tough one.
I like being in a concert in a more
intimate setting,
caged environment.
Yeah.
They both come and go. I mean, you can bounce around in a festival, but it's chaotic. You can miss a lot of
what you're there for.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Terrible
that's fair.
answer.
No, that's fair.
No, it's awesome. Being that you're a Cotati guy, I'll stop you.
I was going to start talking about the burritos again.
Being that you're a Cotati guy, I know you've lived all around. You've lived in Spain. You've traveled the world. You've done all this stuff, but you lived in a few different spots in Cotati specifically. Is it the 9136 or the Yellow House?
No, the Yellow House.
So Cody and I met. Became one of his tenants on 9136. Maybe I shouldn't give the address, but got to represent 9136, boy. Water Road. Holler.
The Water Boys.
I met Cody through mutual. I know this is when you asked me, but I'm going to go with it. I met Cody through a mutual friend. I played basketball at the rec center. Shout out to Rohnert Park. Right, that's where we are, right?
All these plugs.
Yeah. Played basketball at the rec center for the first time in 5 years, and I was throwing up out my nose Gatorade. And Cody was playing on the opposite team, and he had a white shirt on and big baggy basketball shorts, and he just kind of seemed like a bully, dude. Like he seemed like a thug. And I was like, this guy's a thug, man. And then when Cody had a space open up for rent, my boy said, hey, I got a friend who's moving and he has a spot. I was like, oh man, that guy? I was like, I don't know, man. Is he cool?
The guy that dunked on me?
I tuned in basketball, yeah.
He stole my lunch money.
So that's how it started?
That's how it started. And Cody had, he had made plans. He had moved, and then before I moved into the house, he'd already moved back. And then it was just he was kind enough to let me stay in the house that he was renting out, and he stayed with his parents. And then him and I were going through some hard times at the same time. I think we might have both been unemployed at the time, and we really bonded and connected. Mm-hmm. And we've done a lot of projects together. In fact, I mean, this whole thing going on now, I do this podcast in Austin, and that all kind of stemmed from our relationship because Cody's the one who like 5 years, like 5 years in the making. We talked about doing a podcast, and he threw out the idea because we were both working at Regis, and we had a company, the Sal Ziant's company. It's a film production company, and they've made 8 films, and 4 of them have won the Academy Award for Best Picture. So 50% of their films won.
Wow,
so that's pretty good.
Average.
But anyhow, this guy, he had bought the rights to Lord of the Rings in the 70s. I don't know if you guys have you guys seen the animated Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit thing from the 70s?
Not that. I've not seen that, no.
Okay, so they bought the rights a long time ago. So these guys own the rights for all these big time movies.
Right.
So they were making billions, right? And another funny thing is my band was Salty DeVito, named after Danny DeVito.
Shout out to Salty DeVito.
And a cat that we had that was named after Danny DeVito. This same company was responsible for, they were doing Danny DeVito's taxes. So Danny DeVito's mail would come to this company. So I thought that was interesting. But anyhow, Cody had this idea to do a podcast to meet all these interesting people who were renting out office space.
And we were around a lot of different business owners, a lot of different industries, right? It would have been interesting too. Right?
And
what was that, about 10 years ago?
It was about 7.
A little over 5. When he moved.
6, 7 years.
Okay.
And this guy was, we threw out the idea of doing a podcast, and the guy, the owner of Lord of the Rings, was like, yeah, I'll bullshit with you guys. And so that's when I was like, oh my God, we have to capitalize on this. It's like our first podcast would be the owner of Lord of the Rings. And like that could have been the title of the podcast, and I'm sure we would have had so many views. So I started taking it really serious in my head. We got, a bunch of printouts of how to do a podcast.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened. And then I ended up moving to Austin. And so we never did it.
Right.
And it always weighed on me. And then
now's our chance.
And now we're kind of individually
now we're
doing
here.
it.
Now you're doing,
And our worlds are colliding.
Absolutely.
neither one of us own Lord of the Rings, but we've seen it.
But we've watched.
We've heard of it.
I own a copy of Lord of the Rings.
I'm looking at a light
There's
ring.
a ring right there.
So
you are Lord of the Rings.
So to answer the question, 9136 or the Yellow House?
Okay, back to this. Yellow House was a good time. It was just down the street from the 9136. It was my own space.
It was literally down the street from where we're sitting.
Yeah.
It was a stone's throw away from Cotate Bars. A lot of good memories in both, but I'm not to say Yellow House, man.
No, you're not.
I'm gonna have to say Yellow House.
So it's funny you were saying that you
I get my freak on. I don't have to worry about him looking through the window.
You were saying on the podcast the cool name if it was Lord of the Rings or whatever. We've been trying to think of a name for this podcast, and I brought up one to Cody recently. I was like, we should call it "What's Up, Bro" or "What's Up, Dude." And he kind of chuckled at him. We're trying to brainstorm maybe a good name for a podcast. Maybe if you can help us brainstorm that, right?
Not off the top of your head. But
We'll think about it. So that brings me to my final question, right? My final question is: you've done a lot of filming. You do a podcast now in Austin, and I've seen your guys' amazing music videos that you guys have done back in the days. What is your favorite thing out of those two things to do, to shoot, to film? Is it a podcast or is it a music video? Shout out Waterboys YouTube.
Or Wild Card.
Or Wild Card.
This guy's kind of an artist.
I don't know what his
He
wild
does
card
it all.
filming might be, so I'm kind of concerned knowing,
So
like
what's
asking
your
that
wild
question.
card?
I don't know.
Well, a little background, so I graduated at Rancho. I went to San Francisco State for a year because Coppola was the dean of film. And as soon as I started going, I had options to go to better schools, but I wanted to stay local. I was still dating a girl who was a junior when I was a senior at Rancho, so I didn't want to leave. Mistake. Big mistake.
Not shout out to her.
Jenny Charles, you're my dog. So I went to San Francisco State for film for a year. Coppola quit. I ended up going to UC Santa Barbara. But I graduated with a film degree. I moved to LA. I've written screenplays. Have not sold them. Don't get all excited. But I will one day. Power of manifestation.
Absolutely.
Started writing screenplays, and then I started writing music, and it was like I take 4 years to write a script, and then 20 minutes to write a song.
Yeah.
And it was more fulfilling. Like I don't have to get an 80-person crew and $100,000 million to make a film. I could play guitar and have a song and show it. So it was like instant gratification.
And still tap into that creative energy.
Yeah, still write, still express myself. So music took over, and I started a band with everybody who's like from Sonoma County. And fast forward to Austin, like I started doing the podcast because I wanted to do something that I've always been trying to promote myself, something I've been involved in. And then I was in Austin, it was just like, man, I want to put my film degree to use. I don't want to worry about singing a song if I'm good enough. I don't want to be in front of the camera. I want to go back to my roots of being behind the camera.
Yeah.
And there's all this immense talent. Austin and these people need help. Not everybody,
just getting exposure, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's people who are playing on the street. They're the best you've ever heard, you know, and they don't know where their next meal is coming from. Right. I was like, oh, let me start filming these people and helping them out. And I had this idea to film. I got my first artist, and we're gonna like film like at a ranch or like at a pool or like a nice house, and just film their set, like an acoustic set. Had nothing to do with me, other than filming it, producing it. A friend opened up a podcast studio, and I had like 5 videographers that wanted to work with me, and it was just too many moving pieces, could never get it together. So I had promised this girl that I was going to do this project with her. 6 months went by, and I was like, okay, we're not going to get this. There's too many things going on. My friend opened a podcast studio. He said we should go in there and film. Mm-hmm. And then, so we go there, and they're like, oh, well, you got to interview her. I was like, oh, all right. Well, you know, I'll ask about your favorite food. There's a lot of food in Austin. One of the best things about Austin is food. There's a lot of food trucks, a lot of less regulations than in California. So there's a ton of food everywhere on the corners, down the street from residential areas that you would never think of, just bomb food.
Less regulations. You don't know what you're eating.
Yeah,
but there's food everywhere.
Yeah. So you, Texas, man.
Do you even remember the question?
And God we trust.
Do you remember the question?
Yes. So
he doesn't remember.
the whole reason I started doing the podcast was I didn't want to be in front of the camera because I'm really nervous. I don't like talking in front of people. So yeah, they're like, "Hey, you got to interview her." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I'll interview her, and then it's like people are like, "Oh, this is great. You got to keep doing it." So I've done like 13, 14 shows now, and it's like, yeah, now I'm a big part of it. Now it's a lot less stressful because there's good talent there, and as long as they do a good music set, I've been very lucky. I've had like a ton of people from America's Got Talent and American Idol. I mean, they're a dime a dozen in Austin. Right. So I've been really grateful and been lucky to be there.
What's been your favorite though? What's like your favorite form of
media?
I really enjoy talking to these people and interviewing them.
The cool thing with the interviews that I'm learning doing this with Cody is you just let people cook. You let them show who they are. You ask the questions and just kind of listen and let them go. And I think that's so cool, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, you know, I really like the podcast thing because it incorporates everything. I want to be an actor, and I get to be in front of the camera. I get to edit it.
Yeah.
I get to find the talent.
Be creative.
Mm-hmm. I get to film them doing a set. And so it's like the music set has nothing to do with me. So it's kind of like, it's kind of nice to have some of it, be involved in it. Mm-hmm. Like some of myself goes into making this thing what it is, but having it's like so many other things involved is just kind of like the right amount of balance where I don't get too stressed out. Like I'm more stressed out doing this right now than I am.
We're pretty intimidating,
sweating and everything in here.
Jon Stewart sweats a lot, man.
It's nice I'm not wearing a suit for once.
All right. Well, so
I just want to
ask. Go ahead.
My podcast, ATX Music Talent, is actually a video show. You have to watch it on video. I put up graphics about everything we're talking about. But it's also on Spotify, but YouTube. I need subscribers. Help your Rohnert Park boy get more subscribers so I can bring you the best Austin music to your TV. You don't have to be in Austin. You can be right here in Rohnert Park, Sonoma County, checking out new music if you like hearing new music. And I think filming music videos is what I like better.
Obviously, I could tell that was what was happening.
Yeah, no, I don't know, man. The lights.
So I wanted to ask, are you,
the lights are bright.
Before Cody asked his last question, so you're monetizing the podcast. So you're making.
I have a sponsor, a dog grooming sponsor, goes hand in hand with music.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure I had a good product first. I didn't want to get too ahead of myself, but it's myself. There's two of us, Jim and I.
Yeah.
Just to clarify that. I wanted to do it for at least a year, and I've had great guests. And when I first started it, I had made a post on Instagram asking for talent. No one ever hit me up. 6 months went by. No one thought I was going to be able to do it. Now I get hundreds of submissions a day.
Wow.
And I am meeting like all these people that I couldn't make it to their shows. now they're coming to me, and that's super cool. And also I have a child, so I can't go out and see these people, and now they're coming to me, and then I get to like share it by, broadcasting it out to other people who aren't available. So that's been super cool.
That is cool, getting the exposure for everybody.
Yeah, and that all started because what are we even talking about? I forgot. But that all started because in COVID, people couldn't play around here, and so I started inviting some musicians over to my house, the Yellow House. That's why I was going to say I chose 9136 Water Road was dear to my heart because Cody and I made the best rap group ever, and I still feel traumatized that we didn't foresee that through. And the Yellow House.
When you're unemployed and you're
so I think we should leave that into the last question then.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. So last question then.
The Yellow House is when I started doing this. The beginning of this podcast that I'm doing now in Austin, where I started filming musicians because they couldn't perform because of COVID. So I was like, "Oh, come to the house. We'll film a set and then we'll put it on YouTube." And so that is kind of like the baby of. I held on to the idea in Austin. So I'm really glad to see.
That's dope.
And it all stemmed from him kind of setting the fire and curiosity to even do that.
I'm still waiting for my royalty checks to start rolling in.
Yeah, I bet you are.
All these sponsors that are knocking down his door, he's like, wait a year.
Well, ever since I met him, I got to give a shout out to Cody because ever since I met him, we've come up with these ideas and we've seen them through. Him and I have started a couple businesses that are just like a crazy idea, and we stuck through with it and we did it. Took a lot of work, and then he always wanted to be self-employed, and then COVID happened and we found the opportunities. We both quit our jobs, and this kind of stuff that we're doing here. This is like
what you wanted
all this stuff that we kind of dreamed about doing, no matter how big or small. But,
that's speaking to me right now. Tell you what, somebody who's in a transition phase in my life. That's speaking.
Well, a lot of times something happens. It's going to be a blessing.
Absolutely, you have to look at it like that.
And you sometimes need to be forced to.
Well, and it's scary because you don't know what's going to ultimately happen, right?
Yeah.
But you just have to have
faith and believe in yourself and trust the people around you.
Whatever it is.
I agree.
So
thoughts do manifest themselves, but you cannot listen to what people say. You have to stick with it because, like I'm saying, back to this podcast thing, back to the monetizing it. So I am getting, all that stuff in motion. There's all kinds of people in Austin love being a part of putting their name on helping musicians. So that part's coming together right now.
That's great. You're seeing a lot of demand.
Yeah, but it's like people who are close to me didn't. When I first started out, I was like, you can't do that now. It's like, it's almost 2 years later, and it's going strong. And shit, now can I cuss on this? Bleed it out, man. Shucks. Oh man. Stupid.
All right, Cody. Last question.
Last question. Salty DeVito or Water Boys?
Ooh.
And I don't want the non-biased answer. Like you just give it to me straight.
Remember, you got a guy who's 6'5" next to you. Who's part of one of those groups.
Logically, I would say Salty DeVito. But honestly, in all my travels, all the people I showed music
for the Water Boys.
more recognized.
John Stewart of the Water Boys.
Cool. So you got the nickname Johnny Cotate, right? We're done with the rapid fire questions.
Only because it rhymes.
That's why I want to know.
That is it.
How did that come about?
Johnny Cotate.
Simple enough.
This guy wants to be the life of the party all the time, right? Like maybe it's changed a little bit since you left, and you've kind of gotten older. We've all gotten older, right? It's Thursday night. It's Cotate crawl night, right? Johnny Cotate lived right down the street.
Middle child.
You know where to find him.
Artistic. Loud, obnoxious.
Johnny Cotate.
It's defining you, huh?
Yeah.
Well, so tell us a little bit about now being in Austin in comparison to leaving here. Like, was it an easy transition? Did you enjoy it? Like, do you still enjoy it? Like, what do you miss about here, and what do you enjoy about being there?
Right.
It's beautiful here. I noticed it's been affecting me a lot more this time around, just because the time of year. It looks absolutely gorgeous right now in Sonoma County. There's no hills in Austin, really. It's very flat, but you can go in any direction. And you here, I didn't realize how we're just pinpointed in the valley, the 101.
Right.
like I get claustrophobic now here, and it's like, oh
I
God,
feel kind of boxed in.
and like you don't really do a ton of stuff because the traffic is, you really got to take that in consideration. Like, oh, there's only one direction you can really go.
North and south.
There and back. Yeah, two directions.
East and west.
What's Highway 12?
Oh,
There's 12. There's 12.
directions. Austin is, you can get anywhere really quickly. I love that. There's a river running through it. It's a city. There's so much art. And also everybody, it's like, it is what they say. It's like mini California.
Right.
Almost everybody I meet is from California. And so it's kind of a trip. But I moved there because it was so locked down here during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to do artistic things, and it just was not happening here. And I felt boxed in, and I went to Austin, and it was wide open, and people were playing music. They were bar hopping. They were being social.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I moved in 28 days.
Wow.
So just going through how lockdown it was here. I mean, we were going to Oliver's wearing gloves,
masks,
and all this crazy stuff. And like we bought into it. And then I went out to Texas, and it was like
free again.
It was totally normal. It was just like, what is going on?
Two different worlds.
And so, so I dipped. And it's kind of like, unless you experience that, it's like hard to, it's kind of weird. And now I come back here all the time. It's so weird to see the politics. I see the same interview with politicians cut in California and then cut there. Mm-hmm. Like there's politicians when I was living here, I absolutely hate it out there. And then I see them out there in their cuts, and it's like, oh, this person's actually. Right. So that's kind of interesting going back and forth, having those perspectives.
But speaking of politicians, have you ever seen Johnny Cotati and Gavin Newsom in the same place at the same time?
Gavin, I'm coming for you, bro, dude.
2026, or when's the next election, huh?
I'd run for governor. I'd come back to California to run for governor.
So before you had moved and you were into the music scene and you were doing work, what other interests and hobbies and things were you doing other than, were you just full on in the creative zone, or were you doing, I know you said you and Cody had other ventures and different things like that. Like what were some other things you were pursuing and thinking about before you moved out there?
I've always been a writer. I had a speech impediment growing up. I've been writing since I could remember, and I have like a second voice. Like I took it very serious. I've always wanted to write. I thought I'd write books, I thought I'd write screenplays.
That's great.
And then I always wanted to make film, then music. There's just so many things. And I kind of felt like, I just feel like there's not a lot of that going on here. I feel like if you're established and you're in Sonoma County, it's a place to be. It's beautiful. You can own some nice property. But I feel like if you're trying to do super artistic things in this area, it's kind of hard. I'm not answering any of you guys' questions.
No, this is fine. This is fine.
So that's kind of like, I love being here and I love my friends and family. I do feel like when it comes to artistic endeavors, there's more people. Well, it's a city. It doesn't seem as far fetched because
in an artistic city.
It's very artistic, right? So it just kind of gravitate towards me. I lived in LA for a while, and I thought I would like LA a lot more. But LA it's what they say it is. It's people walking over you, using you as a stepping stone. What can they get from you?
Right, transactional.
And Austin's kind of like LA, but more integrity. Like the people are actually honest, and they're kind of there to support you, and they want to help you.
That's cool. You feel like it's more of like a communal thing?
It's like they're not talking shit on each other. There's no competition. It's like they're trying to uplift everybody. Right. And that's just the history of Austin. It's a small, weird, keep Austin weird. And that's another thing I want to mention too, is that I thought that was weird how Cotati's slogan is keep Cotati weird. And I had no idea that Austin was keep Austin weird.
Wow, that is crazy.
Yeah. So that was pretty wild.
Makes sense that you were in both places.
Yeah.
They're keeping you weird.
Yeah. I'm a weird guy. I like weird things.
If you could take something from Austin and transport it here.
The burritos.
You said the burritos were terrible there. If you could take something from Sonoma County and bring it there, what would it be?
I don't remember. The Lord of the Rings is getting to me. What was the question?
If you could transplant something from Sonoma County to Austin, what would that be? Other than the burritos.
My baby girl. If I could transplant my podcast, ATX Music Talent, like and subscribe. I need supporters. How about your Rohnert Park boy? I would bring the music scene.
Yeah.
I think we need to open up in the beginning here and bring back, San Francisco is such a rich cultural, artistic community. And I know that musicians used to come out here to kind of experiment their new material out here. And, Cotate should be Sonoma County in general, man. I feel like it could be a huge hub. Yeah. And I think just because, and this is happening in Austin too, it's getting more expensive. So the artistic types are pushed out. Yeah. And that's why Austin's kind of being depleted because, all the Californians are coming there. Silicon Valley's coming there and they're pushing everybody out, and everything you like about the city is getting pushed out. And the reason you like it because you can go to a beer garden or a donut shop and see like possibly one of the best performers you've ever seen. Right. But now they're getting pushed out. They can't afford to live there. So it's the city's doing a lot of things to keep. They have a lot of programs where they'll do healthcare for musicians, and they pass a law where there's like when I do my podcast, I have to pay the city going rate to the performers, which is great. Yeah, that's cool. So that kind of stuff they help out. But I think out here, I just I stuck here for so long because I kept thinking, and then I kind of still want to help this community grow musically and more creatively. I'm hoping that what I learned in Austin and come back here and kind of use what I learned out here.
Well, and you've played music throughout this whole
area, right? Yeah. I used to perform here a lot with my band, and I know a lot of the musicians out here still, but it's still there's a handful of people out here, and that's just it. And I know a lot of stuff started happening, and then COVID kind of shut down some venues, but I feel like there's so many opportunities for venues out here in music. And I'm a little bit out of the scene now. I don't know. Maybe it is popping off here.
So how do we get you back over here to then kind of be this creative self-starter?
I guess that's what I want to ask.
How could you help with
or what can be done?
I'm sure a lot of people that would watch this, have a creative mindset just like you, or they're in the music. Yeah, absolutely. Or they're in to film or whatever.
Dozens of viewers out there,
Well, I think a lot of these. Sure, I know these. What's over here? Why am I forgetting all? Yeah, Johnny Cotate. I can't even think of a single place in Cotate. Trade Winds, Spanky's, 8-Ball,
Friar Tuck's
Club, RIP.
I don't know. They don't do the music because they don't want to pay, or people aren't into that as much. I think maybe the bar scene draws the different crowd. Like maybe you need a DJ to get the dancing.
Right.
It is also a younger crowd here, right? If you're talking,
I just think people don't. I just think that people don't go out a lot.
We just walked by Redwood Cafe
here.
I was gonna say Redwood Cafe has a decent.
They do good. They do good music. They have good sound in there. Mm-hmm. Just need more places like that, and more importantly, you need people to actually go out and support
it financially.
Yeah,
so I guess that's what I was wondering too, because you have this music scene that should be more robust, but then you have people that are getting priced out, and it's like, well, what can we do as a community to support that financially for these people to make it where there's an incentive to be here to perform? Is that something that the community does through politics, through government? Is that something that businesses do? Like, what's the solution?
And I also just think inspiring the younger generation too, right? Like giving them like something to look at and to model after, because if there are no opportunities and people aren't out doing stuff like that, they may never even know that that's a thing, right?
I think of I was gonna say, I think of like music venues that maybe could get like a reduced rent, right, to help foster that culture in that community in there, right? If you did subsidies or you provided some sort of infrastructure to allow these places to go and people to make money off of it, I don't know what the answer to that is though.
Yeah, it's a hard one because the venues need to pay. Like it's really hard to be a performer, practice, for 3 months straight to go play a show for 3 hours, and like the venue wants to give you 2 beers,
right?
And maybe $150, and there's 6 of you. It's like, okay, well, you can only do it for exposure for so long. And music, everybody loves music.
But what about like the Mystic and Phoenix and all that? Yeah. Like there's stuff in Petaluma,
a couple places in Santa Rosa.
Like those are bigger venues that people actually do go and spend money, but. I could be wrong. I've seen some people there that I knew that performed.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think part of it.
Street Breaker, shout out Street Breaker.
Street Breaker. I think a lot of it is, if you think about it, a lot of people who are very talented, like they probably, like when they're in small towns, they like gravitate towards the city. Yeah, so they go like LA or San Francisco. So I think it's kind of hard to keep people who are very talented trying to do something. They're like, they're leaving. So I think you get a lot of established people. Like I know for sure there's a lot of rock legends here. I mean, Tom Waits is here. a lot of people that have made it, this is like their dream to come,
Right.
to settle. I don't think it's where you begin,
That's a good point.
but
That's a good point.
it's where you settle.
And that's why when you go by the Redwood Cafe, the people in there, they're a little bit older. Right?
I mean, we're so lucky to be in Sonoma County, man. I mean, people like we're like in the not even 10%. That's a stupid thing to say, but like the whole world we want to be here. But we grew up here. It's like if you weren't here and you were making it big money, you would be like, I'm gonna retire in Sonoma County.
Yeah.
That would be the dream. The vineyards and all that stuff. But since we were born and raised here, it's kind of like we're like, oh God, we have to get out of here and make something of ourselves, and maybe one day come back.
I mean, I left for junior college, and I got far enough away, but it was still in California. I was in San Diego.
Right.
There's a lot of nice things, but it's definitely much different than it was up here.
Right.
And I think it took me being away from it to also appreciate home. And I know that you've been around a lot, like you've traveled a lot, you've lived in a lot of different places, but being away from it and then coming home, I used to always remember, like, I don't know why this always stands out to me, but I'd be like on Adobe Road and they put up a stop sign and it would just be like the craziest thing when I come home to visit. I'm like, there's a stop sign here now, right? Like, and you would just think about little things like that, the little changes, but then you're like, now I appreciate that this is home.
Yeah.
I appreciate that I'm able to raise my kids here. And
it's like the country music thing. Once you start having kids, you get older, then it is. I mean, I always keep coming back here. I keep gravitating back here. I lived in LA, Long Beach. I never thought I'd ever come back. And I'm always getting pulled back in here. And part of it is, it's like, once you get older and you appreciate
the great weather.
Yeah, it's nice that it's quiet out here. If you made it, if you know what you're doing, like I'm still trying to, like I still have these big aspirations where I still want to do big productions and live a crazy life, artistic life, an interesting life. And then in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, I want to, like if I made it big tomorrow, I'd be like, oh, I want to move to Bodega Bay or Sebastopol and chill out. And so that's kind of like in the back of my mind. I just don't see for what I'm trying to do that here unless I organically create it myself. Maybe we will. Maybe I'll learn what I'm learning in the big city of Austin.
Well, you're going to get a lot of new subscribers here.
Absolutely.
And,
dozens.
We'll get you
I hope.
Dozens of them.
Speaking of which,
if I can just get two.
Your podcast, right? I know it's something that is your baby now. Like you have a lot of pride with what you're doing. And I'm really proud of how you've started to succeed with this thing. But take us back to maybe a moment with when you've been doing this that kind of made you feel like I'm doing something, right? Like that moment where
it clicks.
Yeah, where it clicked. And I guess where I'm trying to lead you into saying is, you had somebody on your podcast that was at the right time and right opportunity for you, and you had no idea, and it kind of blew up into something.
Yeah, I have this artist, Mama Duke. She's a female lesbian rapper from Texas, a coastal town, kind of like ours here, a small coastal town, and she moved to Austin. But I came across her music, and I was like, oh, man, this is one of the best female rappers I've ever heard, and I really gravitated towards it.
Wow.
I reached out to her, and I was like, maybe a year from now, if my podcast is doing good, I'll get the caliber of artist that this person is.
Right.
And she was like the second person I asked, and I was like, I'm just gonna slide her DMs and
shoot your shot.
Yeah, and I asked her, said, hey, I love your work. Would you ever consider coming on the show one of these days? And she liked the quality of it, and she said, hey, the quality is great. Like, I'd love to do this. And she was just like kind of a hometown hero. She's won like the newspaper awards, like best new rapper,
up-and-coming rapper,
in like 2019. She won some awards, and she is dope. But that was it. She didn't have a record label or anything like that. Independent artist, and I had her on the show in April 2025, and then
it's already been a year. Huh?
And then cut to September of last year. All of a sudden, she was America's Got Talent finalist.
Wow! So she was on my pod.
Yeah, and then she came back on and gave me an exclusive interview.
That's dope.
For being
now we got him on.
Now we're here, dude. Yes.
Yeah, so I mean that's pretty cool. Like she was on my podcast. 5 months later, she's a finalist. She's the first female rapper to make the finalist on America's Got Talent. She went from having 300 listeners. She performed on America's Got Talent, original song. She woke up the next day, 11 followers on TikTok. She has 4 million streams on her song.
Wow.
And it was like now it has like 100,000 or maybe 600,000 listeners.
Astronomical.
And, she was the number 3 and 4 for months downloads on Apple. And so she brought this up in my podcast that we just did. She made a good point where it's like people are like, oh, are you on the Billboard charts? Oh, then you didn't do nothing. She's like, the Apple thing is people pay for that.
Yeah.
Those are downloads.
Yeah.
So to be number 3 and 4
Absolutely.
on Apple in the whole world
Absolutely.
for months. So she's a millionaire now.
That's pretty impressive.
Wow.
So she was working in the YMCA when she did the podcast with me. Does America's Got Talent, goes back, works at the YMCA, then 5 months later is when all stuff starts airing, and then she does the live thing, and then it's just like
And then just
it's funny how like one little decision in your life and that
it gave me a lot of credit because then she shared. She collaborated on posts with me, and then all of a sudden, her followers started following me. So it was like the biggest opportunity I've ever had.
But think about it. I mean, one decision that you make can make a huge difference and an impact in your life, right?
Sliding into her DMs.
And I'm saying that for you, right?
I was not going to ask her. That's
but you took that chance and reaching out to her. She also probably had self-doubt, but took a chance on going to America's Got Talent.
She wasn't going to do it.
Yeah,
she wasn't going to do it.
I could imagine, right? Like, again, it's like everything that we do, every business that we've ever ran, anything that we've ever tried to do on our own, sitting in front of a camera and just having this conversation.
Well, she brought up a good point. She kept talking about her lower self. The lower self when you're thinking, what that means, the part of yourself that is telling you can't do it.
Yeah. Well,
she was like, her lower self was telling her, you can't do this. Don't do it. Don't do it. And so I guess that's the whole theme I wanted to get doing this with you guys is like a project like this. It's important that you're doing this because you don't know what's going to become, but you got to take those steps first.
That's what I want to say. It's weird when you're starting something like this because you have like this fully formed vision in your mind, but you have no idea how it's going to turn. You just have to believe and convince people that what you're doing is going to have this vision that you see at the end. And people call you crazy, think that it's nuts, but then when it works, you're like, see, it happened. I wanted to ask you, how many followers, subscribers do you have on the podcast?
So my Instagram stuff, like I'll get like 45 to 50K views, like within weeks.
Yeah.
But the subscribers on YouTube is not a thing, dude. Like I don't even have 300.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to get people to want to subscribe.
Yeah.
So that's the thing I'm having the most trouble with is like, man, but I've been watching like NPR and there's all kinds of people I've been watching for 10 years.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shoot, I never subscribed to these.
Right.
I
know I'm guilty of that. I normally don't do that either. Right.
And Mama Duke actually, she's like, hey, you need to start like making a campaign and asking people because people want to help.
Yeah.
So I've always been like, I don't want to ask somebody for help, but I started putting in like breaks in the show where I say, hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy this, I hate when people do that, but
can you do it for us real quick?
Will you guys take a moment if you like this kind of content and want to see more of this and more representation of Rohnert Park men who are doing strong, big, bold moves in Sonoma County? Please like and subscribe
and share
to this channel, please.
Share it to your friends.
Hey, thank you for that plug.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
But I think that's really cool. I appreciate you sharing that story because I remember when you were going through that, you were also sharing that whole journey because you had met her, you had talked with her, and then as she was going through it on TV while you're watching it, like you're like, man, this is super cool. Like you felt very invested in it.
Now, I mean, like it just takes one pivotal moment, right? Now, when I ask anybody to be on the show, they go, "Oh, you're the guy who did Mama Duke." Because she's only done one interview since that show. And it's with for her being a Black Mexican queer woman, to
one of the most marginalized.
Put her hands in an exclusive interview with Jon Stewart, a straight white guy is like pretty cool, I'm not in her world.
Yeah.
But we just connected.
But you connect, you overlap with the artistic creativity part.
Yeah, and that's the part that you're saying that's kind of lacking here.
Yeah. And now I'm doing this guy J Dash, and he has over 500 billion downloads. He did a remix
with a B.
Yeah, Flow Rider. WAP? W-O-P? Hope I didn't just make a racial slur. He has some song, W-O-P, I think it's WAP. Anyhow, he's a big producer, platinum artist, and he actually made the music that Mama Duke did, Feels So Good to Be You, and the other 3 songs she performed on America's Got Talent.
Wow.
And she introduced me to him, and now he's going to be my next guest
Wow.
On the podcast, it's like,
That's dope.
you know.
Did you tell him to come out here to meet us in Rohnert Park?
Send Mama Dukes, too.
His private jet's waiting for us over at Sonoma County
Well, it's
Airport.
funny. We kind of had a moment. Obviously not to that extent, but I remember it was a few weeks ago. We had done an event with your buddy,
It's working.
your buddy Matt Inlow, right? We had done an event with him, and he made a video for us. And within an hour of he posted a video that then all of a sudden gained traction. There was like 35,000 views on the video.
Yeah.
And Cody was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this is happening!" And then within like an hour of that, we got I got a picture from a hat that we were creating, the CMC men's hat, and it was kind of like this idea that we just had is now becoming something.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, okay, we're still learning what we're doing. We don't fully understand
Well, it's that
what it is,
evolution,
but we're
but
figuring it
yeah.
out. You know,
Well,
It's really
people
exciting.
what's wrong in the world is, humanity, like, people are tribal. And what's going on with people is like your neighbor, and you don't even talk to your neighbor. Everybody's like in their algorithm. Everybody's like too busy doing their own life. But what you guys are doing, this stuff's important because you're bringing, like you said, Matt Inlow does a video, and then it helps out. It's like you guys are creating the community where people start connecting
With
again.
each other, yeah.
And it's like, we wouldn't be doing this if this wasn't going on right now. So it might seem silly.
Yeah, it's a platform, and it's an opportunity for people just to get out and speak and obviously share their story. Like,
I mean, I watched the Rancho battle. I live in Austin. I'm
You watched
45
it?
years old. I watched the battle. I learned about Rancho Cotate's
Oh, I love
coaches.
that, dude. I love that.
And even
Let's
like,
go.
I have seen a lot of these people who I have never met and I've seen around town.
Yeah.
When I'm driving, or walk through Oliver's, like, I've seen this guy. I was like, oh, it's from the podcast.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna start asking, if I see you in a park, ask you for an autograph. Don't be surprised.
Love it.
well, they're
Love
gonna
it.
ask for your autograph next because you were on here. So,
And you're gonna have 4 autographs to give him.
and Mama
Yeah,
Duke's
big.
gonna be like, "You were on the podcast with Vince and Cody."
Oh, let's go.
You might
Mama
get
Duke.
cease and desist
Mama
orders
Duke.
from her. She's like, hey, take that out. Keep my name out of your mouth. Will Smith reference, sorry, in case you guys don't get TV and stuff.
Well, this has been great, man. I really appreciate you just coming in and speaking with us about it and sharing your journey a little
Traveling
bit. Man.
all the way in from Austin.
From Austin
just
just
right
for
here.
the interview here.
He's flying right.
He's
back
got his
up.
helicopter out here getting ready to go, dude.
Email me the questions that I answer, and I'll try to think of them.
I think we're all good, man.
Yeah.
This has been great.
Yeah, it was fun.
Anything else you want to leave us with, or any other parting words for Rohnert Park, Sonoma County? See you next time.
Cody,
What do we got?
anything you
Same dirt, same earth.
Hey, I like that. Hey, appreciate you, sir. This is great. This is great.
bro.
Hell yeah.
Well, good
dude.
luck, you guys.
CMC, we'll catch you next time.
Have a good night.
Let's go,
You
dude.
came out, so you know we're gonna do it. That's not the lyrics at all. You came out, so you know you're gonna get it. Damn, I can't even sing my own rap.
I'm glad I